everyone, Annie from Stamp Anything here, and today we're going to be making these super cute turkey fry boxes for your holiday or just fall gathering for friends and family. So these are super cute, really easy to put together, and you can fill them with basket fillers or that crinkly paper and then put candies in it. You could put potpourri in them. They stand up all by themselves, so you can place them at your tables, and you can just really fill them up with anything you want. It's a really nice size, so you'd be able to get some really good treats in there. You can even put fresh baked cookies in there. It doesn't even have to be little store-bought candy. It can be anything you want it to be. So we are going to go ahead and let you know what's in your kit. So you should have your fry box base, 4 of those. And then you have this little Ziploc pouch that will have all of your other little kit contents in there. I just want to make sure everyone has all of their pieces. So we're just going to go through these really quick. You should have 4 of these yellow turkey feathers. Just going to put one aside since we're only going to make one on film today with you. And then we are going to have 4 of these red pieces for the other turkey feathers. Then, let's grab these up. You're going to have these little red wattle pieces. Wattles. So you should have 4 wattles. And then you should have 4 top beaks with 4 bottom beaks. And lastly, you should have your white eyeballs with the hole in them and your black pupil that will go underneath them. And you should have 8 of the white and 8 of the black so that you can make the 4 turkeys. So we just need 2 of each right now for making just the one that we're going to do for our demo with you today. And you can just put the others aside. Okay. Oops. All right. So now to get started, just so you know, whoop. You can ink blend your pieces if you'd like. You can leave them plain if you like. It's just totally up to you. If you want to decorate them a little bit further, you can take a white gel pen and add some accent marks to them as well. Again, personal preference. I'm going to do a little bit of both just to show you the difference. So in my cardstock paper that we provide you, there's a textured side, which is your top side. That's how you'll always know which is the right side. And on our papers that are not textured, you can sometimes see the scorch marks on the bottom. So that's how you know that that's the bottom area. I believe just the white and the red pieces are non-textured and everything else is a textured paper. So it makes it easier to figure out which is the top side and what is not. Okay, so again, these are really fast and easy to put together. I'm going to do a little ink blending, just a personal choice of my own, just to show you different looks that you can get with it if you just add a little bit more. On my original demo one that I did, even though you didn't get that polka dotted paper, this is just plain paper with no inking, no gel pen, nothing. And as you can see, it's super cute. But if you wanted to bring it to another level, you can go ahead and decorate it a little bit further. So I am just going to go and grab some inks and show you how we can go ahead and do that. Okay, so now I have my inking materials with me. And I have Stamp Anything ink and also the Versa Magic Dewdrops. These are brand new, so they're really, really juicy, so I'm not going to be using them because they're going to be too much. So I'm just going to use our Pecan Hybrid ink, and I'm going to use this on all of the ink blending. I really love putting browns when I ink blend. I like how it distresses it a bit. So the back side and the inside of our fry box. Our inside we're not going to have to ink blend because the yellow turkey feathers are going to go on the inside, so we'll have to ink blend the yellow turkey feathers. But on the outside of our box in the back, we need to ink blend there. So we're just going to add some ink and go ahead and put that just on the edges just to distress it a little bit. And I'll show you why I love this on textured cardstock. If it shows up on camera or not. I love how the ink on textured cardstock gets in all the little nooks and crannies. It just looks so, so nice when you ink on textured cardstock. It is a personal preference, but I love it. And then I'm just going to flip it around because the front of the box is actually the textured part of the box. So we need to ink blend that when we're going to be putting the turkey's face area on there. So we're decorating the outside front and then the inside back with our layers. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside. And what we're going to do, because again, this is the inside, we're going to grab our yellow piece because that's what's going to go on the inside. And I'm going to go and ink blend that as well. But I'm going to do it with lighter pressure because I don't want it to be super dark with the brown because it is a light yellow color. And if you ink blend too much on it, it'll make the paper look muddy and dirty as opposed to kind of distressed. So just using a lighter pressure on it. And I only have to go on the top side of the bumps. Let's zoom in there. Okay, so you can see, and you can see the difference between it being textured and not. It just adds a little bit more, I think, definition to the project. Again, personal preference. You don't have to do that at all. And especially if you're pressed for time, if you're cooking and doing all the things and you just want to make these super quick. I mean, you can get these done, in 15 minutes, all 4 of them. They're super, super quick to put together. Okay, and there is our blending. And now on the bottom edge, the red is going to go. So that's why I don't need to do the bottom edge of the yellow. Now with the red piece, even though I design them and I try to make them asymmetrical, they don't always come out asymmetrical, and I don't always realize that until I put, projects together. But what you're going to do is I just kind of dry fit it to see which way fits, because it looks asymmetrical, but again, sometimes it actually is not. So just find which piece it actually fits better on, and for me it's this side fits better than the other way, so I know this is going to be my top piece, and now I know that this is the piece that I'm going to go ahead and ink blend on. And again, just going to hit this up, and it's just so it'll give a little bit more definition in with the colors. And I'm just hitting it up very, very lightly, just so it'll tone down the red, even though it's a dark red to begin with, but it'll just make it pop a little against that red with the definition of the brown on those edges. Okay, now we'll grab our next piece, which is the little wattle. And we're just going to go ahead and ink blend the edges on this as well, just to darken it up. And there we go, we're just adding it to the edges. And then we're going to go and grab our little beak pieces. We have our top beak and our, where is it, my bottom piece. So we're just going to, I just need to do the bottom edge of the bottom of the beak because the top piece is going to overlap it. So you just need to add just a little bit there, and then a little bit again, and I'm using more of a dry brush and a lighter pressure on my yellow piece here. Okay. So now that we have our ink blending done, we're not going to do the eyeballs. We want to keep them white. I'm going to flip my paper over so it's nice and clean. And we're going to get our eyeballs and our little pupils out. And again, this is my back side of my eyeball. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to glue the black pupil to the back side of my eye, like so. And then when I flip it over, we have perfect placement pupils. You don't have to worry and fuss with those, smaller pieces. And then we're going to repeat it with our other one. Again, making sure I'm putting my glue on the back side. And there we go. Putting our pupil piece. And if you like the look of the bigger pupil, like the back side looks, you can always glue your pupil to the top side if you want them to have big pupil eyes as opposed to small pupil eyes. Again, that would just be a personal preference as well. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our pupils aside to dry. And we are going to grab our turkey bottom base again. And we're going to do our turkey feathers. So this is the outside of the box, but our turkey feathers are going to be on the inside. So we're just going to flip that over. And we're going to grab our yellow piece, and we're just going to glue that into position. So we're just adding some glue to the back side of that yellow piece. Now I'm just going to place it side by side, well, side edge to side edge and top edge to top edge. It just fits in perfectly. All the edges match up. And then our red piece, and I'm just going to make sure I have the right side going right. And I'm just going to put a thin line of glue on the back side here because I don't want it to squish and ooze out all over. And, a little bit of glue goes a long way with our white glue. And now I'm just going to make sure I have this flush on the edge and flush on the bottom pieces, and it is going to fit straight across. Can you guys tell that I loved puzzles as a kid? I love when everything fits together. So whenever I design things, I always try to keep that in mind, that everything lines up perfectly. And I just love designing that way. Okay, so there are our turkey feathers. That's the inside of the box. But when you fold up the box, it's the outside that becomes the front. And that's where our face is. So now we're going to flip our paper over so that that arched part of the outside, which the textured, is now facing us, because now we're going to start building our face of our turkey. So you just want to kind of lay out the placement of how you want it to go, because the wattle, the red piece, is not centered on its face. The beak is going to be centered. So the wattle has to go down first, and it goes off a little to the side. And then you have your eyeballs as well. Now the eyeballs I did not make in the center of, the pupils I did not make into the center of the eyeballs. And I did that so that you can kind of have fun and play with how you want your turkey to look. You can have them cross-eyed, you can have them both looking together to the center. You can have them looking up. You can have them both looking over to the right side or the left side. That he's like, hey, who's sitting next to me? You know, whatever, however you personally want him to look. So you can decide on how you want your eyes to be, but we're just trying to figure out the placement right now of where that waddle needs to go, because it is off-centered a little bit. So I'm gonna just play with this of how I want it to look, so that I can kind of find out where it should be going. And I kind of like it like that. You can put your eyes higher or lower again, you know, just kind of figure out how you want that placement to be. And I'm just going to go ahead now and I'm going to glue my wattle piece down. So just get some glue and I'm just going to put it again. It's a little off center, and place that down. Okay, then I am going to grab my beak, excuse me, and I kind of want to line it up so that obviously it's going to meet on the edges, but I don't want, hold on, I don't want the nostrils of his beak to be covered by that bottom lip piece. So I'm just kind of playing it so you can see they're not obstructed with the piece of paper behind it. So now that I got that, all I'm going to do, see if you did it the other way, it kind of, if you just glued it together, you would have those blocked, and I just didn't want that. So I'm just going to put a little thin piece of glue on the edge. This is why liquid glue is awesome, so that you can kind of have that wiggle room of lining up side by side and then up and down to get it so that your nostrils, nobody wants a clogged nostril, people. No, no, no. So we have to go ahead and get this so our nostril hole on his beak is not, there we go, obstructed. So there is now our little beak piece. And then our eyeballs. Oops, that's a little too close. Oop, wait. There we go. Sorry about that. So then we have our eyeballs, and again, you can figure out, oh, do I want my nose on top? Yeah, I want the beak on top of my eyes. I don't want the eyes on top of the beak. Okay, and I want my eyes, I'm going to make them overlap looking to the side on this one. You can put them, these ones, you see I have them a little bit spaced. They're not touching and kind of looking with them both facing inwards. But I'm going to do a little different this time, just to show you that you can change the faces by just altering, you know, which way the eyes are going to look, or if they overlap or don't. Oh, these are not straight across. Hold on, he had a sleepy eye there. That was cold. Ooh. I'm trying to get at least the pupils to be in the same line of direction here. And I did it again. Let me just twist it a bit. There we go. Now they're pretty much there. Okay, so now that I got my eyes aligned, I can go ahead and add glue to my back side and then go ahead and place it down like so, and centered in the center of that arch. Okay, and then our beak is just gonna go right on top. And you know what I just realized? I think the waddle is supposed to go over its nose a little bit. Oop, right? Doesn't the waddle, because it comes from the nose on a turkey? I've never really actually looked at a turkey. Even though my husband hunts them, I don't, so I don't really, yeah, okay. So you might, maybe you want to put your waddle on top. But anyways, I am going to, actually, I think I'm going to pop dot the back of this so it adds just a little bit more texture. Well, not texture, dimension. So I'm just going to put a pop dot on the back side of my beak. So just right there in the little bottom area. And then I can just go ahead and place my beak down. And there is our cute little turkey. Little face. All right, there's our cute little turkey face. Okay, so I got a little bit of glue residual on my eyeball there. I don't know if you saw, but what I'm going to grab is, this is a gum eraser. I don't know if you guys are aware of them or not, but it is probably one of my favorite tools in all of my tools that I have. I love it a lot. It always just comes in so handy. It cleans up any glue smudges that you might have. And yeah, you could use a pencil eraser, but you would need to make sure your pencil eraser is super clear. And some pencils leave actually rubber marks behind it. But this is like a godsend. I love this thing. And it's not even just for crafts. You can use it on your sneakers, like on the white parts of your sneaker. Oh my God, it cleans. It's almost like the magic eraser kind of thing. I just love it. If you don't have one, you should look into getting one because they're amazing. Okay, so now we're going to talk about making our box. So we're just going to fold our little side pieces backwards and then flip it over and do the same on our backs. Now these pieces are arched, they're not a straight line, so you got to be a little bit careful in folding those. And I kind of just, when I do them, I kind of just pinch it, do a pinch fold as opposed to, you know, flat down, because it does have the curve and that's going to make the fry box bottom shape. Now the sides of the boxes, just so you know, hold on, they do not reach to the back. So this front line here is not going to go all the way to that back line. It goes halfway. So it's going to overlap and still have a gap of the back. Now you can either do the back on the front or the front going on the back. That's a personal preference as well. I'm going to do my front on top of my back. But just know that it just goes halfway. It does not go all the way back. You can use double-sided tape at this point, or you can use your glue again, whatever you want to do the sides. Obviously, if you're going to be using the glue, you have to hold it for just a few seconds till it sets up. But if you're going to use the double-sided tape, you need to make sure that you get it in the right placement the first time, because once that gets stuck down, you know, it just doesn't move. So I'm using my liquid glue, and I am just going to, about halfway, a little less than halfway, I'm just going to pinch it. You just want to make sure it's flat on the bottom part. And then I'm just going to go on the inside of my box and kind of squish it together and hold it for a second to make sure that glue is getting good contact. And on the other side, and there is our sides of our box again. So it makes it nice and roomy. It does not, you know, because it only goes through the halfway, just like a regular fry box. If you look at a fry box, you'll notice it, you know, it overlaps on the side. Okay, so you can also dress this up more with twine or some ribbon or some raffia. Wrap it around the box, make a bow. Your white gel pen, you can also add some more interest to it. I'll just show you by adding some polka dots to our red area, nothing fancy. Obviously, again, if you are hosting a dinner and you have to do all the cooking and the cleaning of the house and the decorating in the house and you just don't have a lot of time, don't ink blend, just assemble them together. They go by, they go together super, super quick. But if you have the extra time and you want to play, or you have the kids around and you want them to help decorate, you can do that as well. But we just added a little bit more interest with some polka dots. And then I'm also going to add some white into his eye for a pupil. highlight if my gel pen, there it goes. All right, so we have that, and then just a little bit of a little accent as well on our wattle. So super, super cute. Again, they go really, really quickly together. Your kit comes with the 4 of them, so you can make all 4. You really can, if you don't do any of the extra stuff, you can get all 4 done in 15 minutes. They're super fast to put together. It does stand up on its own, as you can see here. Again, you can fill it with candy. You can fill it with potpourri. If you don't want to put individual candies in there, you can buy like those tool circles, and then when you tie it, the tuft of the part of the top of the tool can, look more like feathers again in there, that it's sprouting out some more. So a lot of fun things you can do with your little turkey box. Super, super cute, super fast. You just place them on your table. The kids love them. I used to make them for the kids when they were in school, and they just thought they were lots and lots of fun. I got some gold string here. I could wrap that around it. I could tie a bow around it. So you can still keep adding and making them even more fancy if you want, to keep adding to your kit. And then again, like I said, you can, with the tool or the tops of even a cellophane bag that you cut, you can make it pop out top of the box. So thank you so much for being with me. I hope you enjoyed our fun turkey fry box. That's kind of a little bit of a tongue twister. Turkey fry boxes project for our Thanksgiving fall spectacular, even though we're in August, but it'll be here before you know it. Have a great rest of your day, and we will see you the next time for the next volume event. So thank you so much for joining me. Again, I'm Annie from Stamp Anniething. Bye.